All right. Hey, my IBMOR brothers. This one is for the field master. It's a request, and I'm always humbled to actually weigh in on the knowledge base that the field master produces. Ron Wills, shout out to you. This is something about my Octane series. If anybody wants to know, I have a series in my playlist about the 5 octanes of women. And just talk about it briefly. The octanes of women is basically describing a socio-economic class of particularly black women in the black community. And the descriptors, there are 5 of them, just like gasoline. There's 5 octanes of gasoline that you can buy in the consumer market, which is 85, which is flex fuel, your standard, which is 87 octane, your mid grade, which is 89 octane, your high grade, which is your 92, and your 100 octane, which is your racing fuel. And what I'm going to describe here is what does it take to get or take to attract the women in each one of these grades or these classes. And we're going to take them one by one. If you really want to know the whole overview, go back and review my playlist. I go into deep detail about who these women are, what they're like, how they react, amongst other things. Now, your lower grade, which is your 85, and this is not to make a slight on anybody's character. This is just where you wind up. Some people are assholes at the lower ranks, and some people are assholes at the higher ranks. In fact, a lot of times, your character will be exposed in all 5, but it's just a matter of where you wind up in a socioeconomic class. Your 85s are your lower class, your lower socioeconomic class. And your 85 women go by various names as, they could be just poor chicks, they're welfare chicks, they're project girls, they're hood rats, and these are the poor women that are slightly below working class. In other words, these are the women that are in poverty. And these are the women that are trying to survive. So they're going to respond to men that either can help them do it or help them to forget about it. So the guys that they're going to be attracted to are one, guys that speak their language. So there's going to probably be more profanity, because if you're in a lower class and the way you get through things is by the use of profanity. So most guys that are going to attract women on this level are going to be a little tougher. They may have to know how to fight, because that is at this level. If you're going to do the 3 P's, protect. If you can't provide, then you're going to you might have to be an attack dog. So learning how to protect yourself, learning how to fight, a little bit be more physical, because you can't be soft at this level, and get a woman of a higher grade at this level, because even at this level, there's higher grades. There are levels even in all grades. If you can't do that, then there's women that need you for sperm. So if you look good, or you have a physical body that looks good, they're going to be attracted to that, because it's going to be more of a base nature. It's going to be, it's going to be something that will actually give them pleasure or give them a leg up. So if you have a hustle mentality, a street hustle mentality, these won't be attracted to you. If you have what they call game, street game, these are the things. These are the men that are going to be attractive to these women. A lot of guys don't understand when they come from the upper levels. They can't talk to these women because they don't have the street vernacular. They don't have the street game. They don't have the feel, because it's not just what you say or using the word, it's tone. How do you say it? The tone that you use. You notice that guys that at this level almost like I wouldn't say sing song, but the thing is they have almost a different tune to their voice, a little bit more bass, almost a little bit more preacher style, because At this level, you're dealing with raw emotion. So you wonder how the dudes with the prison bods and the Pookies and Ray Rays, I should say the Pookies, the Madden Kings, can actually be the baby boys that can actually don't have any money, don't have any future. They can actually get these kind of women, or get women that actually look good because they're providing something. They're providing a distraction. They're providing companionship. And at this level, a lot of men that are working class do not want to take a risk on women at this level. So they have to take what they can get. The more upper level of this particular class, this particular grade, they're going to go for men that can provide quick money, quick entertainment, a faster lifestyle, more of a distraction, because these women are looking to get out of their heads, get out of their circumstance, and have a distraction that actually will not remind them of their surroundings. So the guys are going to be more fun, faster lifestyle, more in tune to have sex faster, which attracts a lot of the guys, the upper class guys, working class and above, to them, because the sex is faster. It's more raw. But if you're not that guy to provide it, then you can't talk to her. You can't understand her. Her attitude is a little bit more rough, and sometimes it's more abrasive. And if you ain't that kind of guy, then good luck. And also, each one of these classes have a uniform. You just can't walk in there to the neighborhood in a Brooks Brothers suit and think you're going to attract these women. Each class has a uniform, and the guys that are in the hood have a uniform, and their class is recognized by that uniform. The women recognize guys in their class by the uniform. So a guy could be a Jay-Z, but if he's got street in him, he knows what kind of uniform to wear to attract these women. And this is going to be a theme. Next group up is going to be the working class, which is the 87 octane. And this is where the bulk of your housewives come from, believe it or not. Your working class women are more about stability and contentment, because if they're not working or they're not earning money, they don't have a stable lifestyle, they will drop down into the 85, which is somewhere they do not want to go. And they don't have the ambition or education to actually rise up to the 89s to the 92s, which is corporate. So they're looking for a stable lifestyle. They're looking for a stable apartment, condo, or at the top level, a house where they can raise their kids, take care of their house, and live a very regular life. A very 9-to-5, day in, day out. Take the vacation once a year, if that, and be content. These kind of women do make very good wives. And they make very good wives for what? A stable guy. So a stable guy that makes, $15 an hour, which is about what, $25,000, $30,000 a year. They can maintain or help pay for bills, take care of the majority of the expense of living, give her stability and protection and assurance, because that's what she wants. She doesn't want to live in too rough of a neighborhood. She will live in a slightly seedy neighborhood if she's stable, but she doesn't want to live in too rough of a neighborhood. And you hear a lot of these women talking about getting their bills paid, because it's more about stability. It's less about fashion and flash and stuff like that. A lot of the upper class guys think these women are boring because there's not a lot of flash and excitement. But for the working class guy that has to work 8, 9, 10, 11 hours a day, he's not looking for a woman that's going to stress him out when he comes home. He's looking for a woman that's going to be there. House is going to be fairly clean. Kids are going to be fairly taken care of. There won't be too many huge issues to take care of. And basically all this woman is looking for is a guy with regular clothes, a steady job, an even personality, because that's what's necessary, because she's not looking for a jet set lifestyle. In fact, she probably is kind of afraid of it because it's going to cost too much, or the lifestyle won't be stable. She's not looking, she's not looking for the fast money, because the first thing she's thinking about, what if this guy goes to jail and what's going to happen to me? Which is probably the opposite of the 85. The 85s are looking for the escape, looking for the momentary release. The 87s are not. They're looking for the least amount of drama. 87s are more content with a card party. They don't need the fancy ball or the fancy parties. They're content with a cookout or the Super Bowl party, with a picnic in the park, cooking and hosting at home. They're more intent on family-oriented men, regular guys that are smarter than them, but not too smart. Because if they're too smart, she's not going to be able to understand them. So if you ever hear a woman, you start talking and you're laying out something that's real kind of esoteric or really erudite, and she responds with, "That's deep," you're dealing with an 87. 87 deals with the day-to-day life, and she needs a day-to-day guy. And most of your 4, 5s, and maybe even 6s at the top end are the 87s. These are the women for the working class guys. So if you're a guy that makes from 20,000, I would say up to about 50, these are your women. And if you make between $30,000 and $50,000 a year, you got a decent car, take care of your bills, that's really all she wants. She's looking for regular sex. She's not really looking for you to put her head through a wall, say like the 85s or even some of the other types. So if you're looking for a very steady woman that's could be on the mundane side, and you're that type of guy, or you were giving her that kind of lifestyle, or you're giving her that kind of approach, this is your woman. Now, the trickiest one is the mid-grade woman, which is the 89. This is your educated, mid-level corporate girl. In other words, this is not your high-level corporate girl. This is not your climber. This is not the woman that's the woman that makes 6 figures and above. This woman probably will make, depending on what her field is, anywhere. She could be a barista at the Starbucks, or she could be a school teacher, a regular old school teacher. She could be a cop. She is the working girl that's educated. Now, she is the one that will probably read a little bit more, read the magazines, the newspapers. She might be into social justice. This is the kind of woman that you're going to probably find at the craft store. She's probably a little bit more into decorating. She's going to want her guy to dress a little nicer. You don't have to have a lot of money, but the thing is, this is where your grooming, your clothes, your car, your cleanliness, all that stuff kind of matters. So for the working class guy that has a little bit more education, reads books, he has different ideas, he likes politics, this is the woman for you. Because if she's not the one trying to climb out of the 89 socioeconomic class to the 92, she's not going to try to put a battery in your back. She's going to want some of the upper class things like taking trips, taking drives. She's not going to demand first class. She's going to, she's happy with coach if she can go on a couple of vacations a couple times a year. She's going to want to go out to eat a little bit more, say than the 87. She's less about hosting. She's less about being at home. She's less about cooking. She likes to party a little bit more, go to lounges a little bit more. Because she probably has educated girlfriends that she sees from time to time. But the thing is, she doesn't have enough ambition to climb that ladder. So she's not looking for a upper class man that's going to make her look bad. But she needs a guy that can either switch up, say if you're a working class guy, put on a suit and tie every now and then, put on some shoes every now and then, go to an event every now and then, pick up a book because you can't be boring because she has an education, and she's going to want to actually use it every now and then, right? So the kind of guys that actually like the 89s, or rather the corporate guys that need a regular housewife that's educated, or the working class guy that has a little bit more money, is a little bit more expansive, but doesn't quite need the aggression and ambition of, say, like the 92. Her ideal man probably would be an upscale guy, a corporate guy, a guy making around $80,000. One of the guys are like in the top 10% of black men. He's a corporate guy, but a corporate guy that mostly comes home, not a corporate guy that's going to be away for, 14, 15 hours a day. That's not her. But to get this woman, you're going to need either a little bit more of an education or an interest in something outside the 9 to 5. Dress a little better, smell a little better, upgrade your car, party a little bit more. When I say party, lounges, concerts every now and then, that kind of stuff. The 92. Now this is the talent and 10th threshold. 92s are the first part of the high octane series. In fact, I used to call my 92 the high octane chick. Ambitious, driven, educated, sophisticated, bougie. Okay? Bougie. I'm going to say it again. Bougie. Sometimes they can be a bit of a snob. So if you're a regular guy, I don't care if she's a 3, 4, 5, if she's bougie and she's a 92, stay away from her. These women want they want either a Masters of the Universe or somebody trying to be a Masters of the Universe. Normally, these women are like the 5, 6, 7 range. The 8, 9s, and 10s, if they're educated, they're driven like this, they normally move up to the 100 octane. Normally, your 92s, if they have ambition, will shoot for the $1 million guys and above. But if you're a corporate guy and you make, I would say, for a 92, you're probably going to have to make $90,000 and above for a 92 to be happy with you. Unfortunately, you cannot be a plumber. Cannot be a plumber and deal with a 92. You can get her. You may be a tractor if you can make enough money, but it's always going to be, well, you don't have a career. You don't have a position. If you own a business, then a 92 might be for you. If you're an entrepreneur, a 92 is for you. If you're a corporate guy trying to climb the corporate ladder, a 92 is for you. That's what she's attracted to. She's going to be attracted to the names. That's one thing about the 92s and the 85s. 85s and the 92s are attracted to labels. The difference is the 92s can afford them and the 85s can't. The 85s are trying to gain status through labels. The 92s, the labels are part of the lifestyle. They get the labels so as to not to lose status. You got to remember, in all of these socioeconomic classes, their girlfriends are paramount. And I'm actually going to touch on that as we end. Because you're not dating, and this is especially true for 92s. You're not dating just her, you're dating her girlfriends also. You have to fit into that class. Her girlfriends have to approve of you. Because if they don't approve of you and she's willing to take you on anyway, she's going to drop back down to an 89. So you have to be status conscious just like she is. You have to look right just like she does. You have to drive the right car just like she does. You have to live in the right house and in the right zip code just like she does. If you do not, a 92 will drive you crazy. I was talking to a woman that was a 92. And this is really important. It's probably even more important than the 89s. The uniform that a 92 looks for is that of upscale corporate. Your grooming, your dress, your colognes, all that stuff has to be on point. Kevin Samuels can tell you about 92 octanes and what they look for. Your cologne, your clothes, your suits, your shoes, your shirt, your haircut, if you wear glasses, all that has to be impeccable, because that is the lifestyle that you're going to live, because you're looking to impress and move up. And the first thing she said that she looks at is his haircut, his clothes, and his shoes. Before he says anything, he has to pass that test. His uniform has to be on point. The first 7 seconds, as Kevin says. Your schooling, your money, all that stuff, which you will never get to if you can't get past that first 7 seconds, because she's at the top 10%, she filter out the rest of the 90% of people. 90% of men will not pass this test. You want a 92, unless it's a very strange circumstance. Want to attract a 92, your clothes, your smell, your grooming has to be on point. After that, your qualifications, your education, because we're talking about the talent in 10th here. All that stuff has to be there. Think of it as a job interview, because you're applying for a position. You're looking for a partner, a merger. 92s are more about having a partner than a husband. Different mentality. They don't make bad housewives, but this is not your housewife type. This is your first class. Okay. This is your exclusive lounge. This is your country club woman. You have to be that. You really have to be that guy, because trust and believe she's going to check. So if you look good and you're a thug, you're part of that other 90%, then you're going to be that 12 to 5 guy. You're going to be the guy she calls when she's lonely and she needs a temporary company, but you're going to have to be gone at 5 o'clock in the morning because she doesn't want anybody to see you come out of her place. Okay? I'll let Rom tell you about that. Last but not least, and everybody knows what this is, 100 Octane is the baller girl. What do I mean by the baller girl? The baller girl are your upper 8s, your 9s, and your 10s. These are the finest of the fine. These are your gold diggers. This is where your gold diggers come from in the 100 Octane girls. These are your housewives of Atlanta. These are your basketball wives. These are your Kardashians. These are your Amber Roses. These are your Sin Santanas. And so if you can't rent a private jet and put her on it, you're probably not the guy that's going to get 100 Octane. This is minimum 7 figures a year. You mess with 100 Octane, you're not one of those guys, top 1%, she's going to break you. She doesn't go to parties. She goes to, you rent a yacht and they bring friends. These are the women that name drop. If you ain't got a name or close to having a name, or you can't drop names yourself, you're not in that class. You have to be one of those guys behind the rope in that section where the security guard stands in front and you can't get past. I'll give you an example. Sierra's a 100 Octane girl, no matter what you say about her. Now you can say she date thugs and she might be a little ratchet, but guess what? None of the guys she ever dated made less than $1 million a year. None of them. So you might think that 50 Cent is a thug, Future's a thug, Bow Wow's a thug, but what's the difference between you and them? And Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's a lame. What's the difference between you and them? You ain't in their class. You're not in their socioeconomic class. You're not on the list. So with that being said, if you can get one of these girls, you know who you are. If you get one of these girls, you can probably afford the rest of them. Now, whether they will like you or not is a different story, but you can get them. These are truly the masters of the universe. These guys are truly bosses. Now, I'm going to review something about socioeconomic class and women. Okay. Like I said, with the 92 Octanes, you're not just dating the woman, you're dating the women in her class. You're dating her girlfriends, and you have to fit. So let's even down to like the 85 ratchet girl. Say you're a regular worker date guy, or maybe you're even a guy that dates 89s, and you try to date a woman that's 85 on a serious basis. Okay? You go meet her girlfriends, and they know you have money, you're a sucker. She's going to try to take advantage of you because why are you down there messing with her? She's going to think that you can't get a woman on your level. That's how you dropped all the way down to date her. That means you're a mark. You're a sucker. And her girlfriends are going to tell her that because you do not fit in with the rest of the group. You don't fit in with the guys that they date. Same thing with the 87. You date an 87. You're not a guy that plays spades and dominoes and drinks beer, has a a regular 9 to 5 job or even a government job that's decent. Like, for an 87, a guy with a government job is gold. He's got a pension. He can't get fired. Oh, he's got health insurance. But the dude off the street that's a hustler, she don't want to be bothered with him because he's going to jail. And the guys that are dating the 89s or even the 92s, he's too bougie. The girlfriends won't like him because the bougie guys are going to look down on them and they're going to be uncomfortable. And they're going to let her know this uppity nigga needs to go. You have to fit into her class of people so that her girlfriends are like, the quick way to know is to meet her girlfriends. If you fit in, she's for you. If you do not, you're going to have problems. 89s are tricky because they have friends on both sides, 87s and 92s. Even that, their girlfriends will still be in that socioeconomic class. And her girlfriends will determine whether you belong with her or not. Sometimes if you're going to get chase a class of women, go to where these women hang out. Observe the women that are around her. Interact with them. That'll let you know how you need to dress, what you need to say, the kind of man that they're looking for to grab that woman. 92s already described what you need for them. But you're dating not just her, because women do not exist by themselves like men do. Women are more class conscious than men are. If you play golf, you could be playing with a billionaire and you could be the lawn man. But as long as you can play golf, you have interest, the billionaire will actually talk to you, be his friend. Women don't work that way. There's two things that people miss out on when trying to date and mate: sex and class, especially in the black community, because the lines are kind of blurred in the black community. They're not as distinct as they are, say, in the white world or even other societies. African Americans, because they're kind of compressed, the lines are blurred. And a lot of times guys miss the distinction between class. In other words, if you're going to go hunting for a particular kind of fish, you got to have the right bait. All 5 classes have their uniform. All 5 classes have their way of speaking. All 5 classes have their way of interacting. If you're going to hunt in these classes, you got to know how to dress, how to talk, how to interact. Very few guys can actually go through all 5 classes. I know I can. I don't get along with the 100 Octanes. I can do the other 4. I have trouble with the 85s. Everybody has trouble with 85s. Okay. 85s is something else. 100 Octane and 85s, people have problems with them. Okay. Less so the 85s than 100, but basically 85s. But that is another video about the 1% and the I would say the bottom 10. It's another video. But with that one, this is getting kind of long-winded. This is basically an overview. It probably gets deeper than that. It's actually very, very complex. Each class is complex in itself. You probably could write a book on each one of the octanes, because the subtleties and the complexities in each class are dynamic. Music, the food, all of that stuff can change. And it's also slightly particular to each different class, which is probably why it's so difficult. But anyway, I'm going to jump off here. This is BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.